Hi, so in today's home exercise tutorial, we are going to go over ways to increase weight bearing on your arm after a stroke. So weight bearing is really important on your arm or your leg for several reasons. If you have spasticity, it helps to decrease spasticity. It also helps to improve the range of motion. If it's on your arm, it helps to extend the wrist, which is really important. A lot of people lose that after a stroke. Their wrist becomes a little bit more flexed, so it'll work on that range of motion. And in the lower extremity, weight bearing works on the range of motion in the ankle. Some of you might notice that your foot points down, so weight bearing on the lower extremity helps to flex that ankle up. The other benefits of weight bearing are it gives input into your body, so if you have a tendency to neglect that side after your stroke, or you just don't seem as aware of that side of your body, that weight bearing helps to give a little bit more input to the brain to kind of help make you more aware of the arm and the leg. So today we're going to go over ways to increase weight bearing on the upper extremity. So this first method I'm going to show you for weight bearing is for someone who does not have full range of motion in their elbow. If you cannot extend your arm, or you have a wrist that is stuck, and even when you try and extend it, you can't extend it, then this method is going to be for you. What we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the lower half of the arm, and we're just going to put the elbow down on a table. Okay. You want to, if you have a shoulder that is extremely unstable, or if you've had a therapist that's told you that your shoulder is subluxed, be very careful when you do this. Weight bearing on a subluxed shoulder can actually cause damage, so definitely consult your physical therapist before doing any weight bearing on your arm if you know that you have a shoulder subluxation. If you know that your shoulder is not subluxed, you can go ahead and try this one. So even if your wrist is balled up, you can still get weight bearing through your shoulder and your elbow, which is really important because, as I had said earlier, you want that input, so you want your body to become more aware of this side of your body. You're going to hold this arm with your other arm just to make sure it doesn't move and it doesn't pull in, and you're just going to lean onto it. You can lean onto it. Just like that. So that's weight bearing on the arm. If you wanted to, also in this position, you can work on rotating that arm out using your other arm. You can see when I work on that external rotation that my elbow is staying in towards my side. It's not moving out. That's a lot of times after a stroke, your arm likes to rotate in, and it's really difficult to move the arm out. So when people go to try and work on this rotation, what I've noticed when I teach them this is that they'll come back, and when I have them show me what they're doing at home, they'll go like this, and their elbow's moving out. So they're not getting that rotation. So you definitely want to make sure that the elbow's staying in close to your side. And then you can also work that external rotation in this position. Something I want to mention, and I'll keep a link for this below, is this product called Dysum. It's kind of black on black, so I'll kind of try and hold it up here so you can see it. Dysum is a great material that if you've had a stroke, I highly recommend that you purchase some of this. I will have a link for you in the description below. It's a sticky product. For this activity, I'm going to set it down here to help keep the hand positioned when we do the weight bearing. So now, if you have a full elbow range of motion, meaning you can extend your arm, even if you have to help it with the other arm, if you can extend your arm and you have decent wrist extension, doesn't have to be actively, but if you have decent wrist extension, even if you're using your other hand, then this would be the weight bearing activity that I would recommend. So sitting with both of your feet flat on the ground. So I'm going to set the Dysum down, and then I'm going to use my hand just to position my hand on top of it. And then this is really important, especially if you have spasticity and your arm flexes up involuntarily, or your arm is flaccid, meaning you don't have any movement in it. You're going to need your other hand to put behind your elbow to help keep that elbow straight. You want the arm as straight as possible and try and get it out of that flexor pattern. So weight bearing helps to do that. So weight bearing will help to decrease what we call that flexor synergy. I'm going to keep that elbow straight. You don't want to let it bend. So my hand right behind my elbow, then I'm just going to lean onto my arm. If it tries to draw up, that's when you really want to kind of pull that elbow forward. Now, one thing I want to mention, weight bearing on your hand with your wrist extended can be a really aggressive stretch for your wrist and your forearm. So if you have pain or discomfort with that and you feel like you can't weight bear on that, or you don't have full wrist extension, one modification you can make is to drop your fingers over the edge. I don't recommend, I know it looks like I'm sitting on a bed, but I don't recommend a bed. You really need a firmer surface. So if you can have a bench, that would work, or if you have two chairs without arms that you can set next to each other, that would also work. And then you just want to drape your fingers over the edge. That should decrease that stress on those flexor muscles in your wrists, and it should make it a little bit more comfortable. Now, this would be what I would consider progression number 1 for someone who either has a flaccid arm and they cannot extend their elbow, or they have a lot of flexor synergy and their arm flexes up involuntarily. So progression number 2, we're going to actually try and get a little bit of active movement involved with the weight bearing on the arm. So you're going to start in the same position, down on my hand, elbow extended. So you still want to, I'm going to move the hand a little bit further away from my body, still helping to keep the arm straight with my other hand. So still not allowing the elbow to involuntarily flex up and not allowing it to give out on me if I have a flaccid arm or an arm that has little to no movement at all. So I'm still holding that elbow. But now I'm going to let it bend a little bit. And then if I need to, I'm going to help to extend it, straighten it out. Let it bend, and then help it to straighten it out. Let it bend, and then help straighten that arm out. So now this is getting the weight bearing. So you're getting that great input into your brain about where your arm is and kind of giving you more attention to this arm. And now we're also adding that active component. So definitely a lot of value in this progression of exercises. So again, if you are someone who has a flaccid upper extremity that has little to no movement, or you are someone that has a lot of spasticity, I highly recommend you start incorporating this into your home exercise program. You will be amazed at the results that you will find. As usual, I want to thank all of you for those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate it. I love the comments, I love the likes, I love the shares. All of that just helps me to help others by getting these videos out there. So I greatly appreciate all of your support. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button below so that you can get notifications whenever I post videos. Thank you all for watching, and thanks for your support, and until next time, have a great day.